Check 1 2, check, hello, check 1 2. Greetings, my fellow divine co-creative celestial beings of the now. Welcome to Planet Collingwood here on Studio A, Revolution Radio. A big thank you to Why Not and crew for the Y-Files. If you go to freedomslips.com and or revolution.radio and donate what you can, you'll be able to keep Revolution Radio on the air because we are 100% listener-supported, also 100% volunteer, and 100% here. I just wanted to do three. It's rule of threes there. Thank you. So the Y-Files is always fun to do as well. Big hello to everyone on... Well, hang on. I'm going to get my list. Now, this is going to take a while, but this is the power of Wafer Thin Entertainment. I'd like to say hello to people on YouTube, Facebook. Okay, Facebook is spelt wrong. There's a K in there. That's not right. YouTube, Facebook, Odyssey, Rumble, PocketNet, Anchor FM, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Twitch. I don't think I go to Twitch. Well, let's say hello to Twitch anyway. BitChute, Twitter, Breaker, Google Podcasts, Overcast, Pocket Casts, Radio Public, and maybe Instagram as well. So I'm spread far and wide. Don't know if anyone listens, except for you. I know you're listening right now. So I just wanted to point that out there. So today's show, this show is sponsored by Q Heal, Quantum Healing Hypnosis Technique in Sydney and in Melbourne, if they get out of lockdown. Q-heal.com. Let Paul do a session with you. It is fantastic. I've explained what happened to me because I don't want to share too much details because that's for me. That's how it works. Basically, you're talking to yourself through frequency. It's awesome. As well as the show is brought to you by SJ's Ninja Dojo for Squirrels, a place for your fur babies to learn the way of the squinger. SJ's Ninja Dojo for Squirrels. Let your rodent defend you. Now, this is a round table. Well, actually, my desk is kind of rectangle, but it's an audio feature. Yeah, but I have been joined by, and I'm going alphabetically, so if, gentlemen, if you're going to complain, bring it up with the Greeks. We have been joined by Brandon Young.
Hello, Monty. Hello, everybody.
Thank you. As well as our intrepid colleague from the north in New South Wales on a hard lockdown, know what I mean? Or Cortek, you've joined us as well.
It's hard lockdown.
Yeah,
no, it's sexy time, week 69 to flatten the curve. Yagshimaj.
Yes, I apparently there's a sequel to that film, and I'm not going to watch it.
So. My wife, Cortek. Very nice.
It's all right. I have a new wife.
It goes God, a man, a horse, a dog, and then a woman, and then an insect.
And I get sued from the country I am purportedly from because they do not like the way I make fun of them.
They love him now. They've come around. Their tourism is booming. He's a national figure. They've made a statue of him. All good.
And of course, if you make fun of him because he's from a certain religious extraction, you get in trouble. I know, equality. Moving on. Why I brought that up, I have no idea.
Well, it's part of the rich tapestry.
Oh, yes. And he married an Australian who is extremely short and he's extremely tall. So she looks up to him.
Isla Fisher, who is hot.
She's pretty hot.
Well, yeah, we Cortek and I were lucky enough. Well, see, I don't know. I don't stalk Cortek because I've got a life. However, did you ever watch Paradise Beach, Cortek?
No, that sounds terrible.
It is. It is. Because it's a soap opera that didn't go anywhere, but they basically got all these very attractive young teenage women in bikinis because it was supposed to be like it was Home and Away, but with more bikinis. Away.
Sounds like a formula that should have worked. I don't know what possibly went wrong with it then.
Bad
writing, bad scripts.
I know Isla was from that show. It only lasted a couple of weeks back in 1992 or something because the D Generation were making fun of it on the ABC and their show was on 92, 93. However, that's where that was maybe her break, but that's where she started, and she ended up in the United States, and because she's slightly attractive,
was she in Summer Bay as well for a stint?
Probably, yeah, because after Paradise Beach collapsed, because it was a cheap knockoff of Summer Bay, and for anyone outside of Australia or England, we're talking about Australian soap operas that will not stop.
Here's another one that history won't remember kindly. Skirts, the drama about police women.
Yeah, there's a reason why we forgot that. So, oh dear me. There's Blue Moon. Anyway, I think we've put Brandon to sleep. It's like, Australian television.
No, I'm all for it. I love it. Aussie TV is what I call it.
Well, yeah, it's unique. Sometimes there was gravitas, and but we used to make good television.
I go with the prawns, and I get a fat and lazy, or whatever it's called, for my coffee.
Are you trying to do an Australian living in New York?
I can't interpret that. I don't know what's going on.
No, yeah, that's a Brooklyn Australian accent.
Coffee.
Yeah, coffee. Yeah, I need my coffee in my purple mug. So
fat and lazy.
No, well, that's more of American. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, but because of I think you try to eat food, but it's like if you want to have some fun, something like look at the box of Fruit Loops that's you bought in the United States, and then look at the ingredients that's in England, and there's a third of the ingredients. It's really weird how it's just strange. So apart from the American diet is like it's just so easy for people to go, but Americans are fat and stupid. It's like, well, you try and live there and try and eat well because it's all the food's been
I went over there in '91 and I was amazed at how many obese people I saw just around LA and stuff like that. It was the first time I saw someone standing on the side of the street saying we'll work for food. I was going, wow, this is crazy.
Yeah, land of opportunity.
Start with your stomach. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, but it's morbidly obese. Now, I'm not having a go. I'm not fat shaming. I'm using medical terms, mind you. In this day and age, I'll probably get thrown off because I'm not fitting the narrative. Go to the CDC. Well, which
fornicate the narrative.
Yeah. That may take a while, but dinner and a movie first. Hey, come on now. Can't think of a segue because I can't think of a positive segue. We've been joined by Aust Paul. How are you, Paul?
Definitely, I'm not touching that fat joke for a moral stick.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Even a yardstick, yeah. But yeah, thank you very much for inviting me. Keep going. I'm cracking myself.
Fat people.
I'll catch up.
Yeah, I thought I was going to say, the world's going to hell in a handbasket, or handbasket. I just thought of Star Wars merchandising. Look, the new handbasket for those solo people. Anyway, South Africa.
Chewbacca backpack.
Yeah. Chewbacca backpack. Anyway, so we've so yes, there is interesting. Okay, I know I've got a missed call. You stupid Skype. Ever since Skype, I can't make jokes about Skype. They were bought by Microsoft. Yeah, a decade ago.
I believe we're talking about fat people, Monty. Keep it on track.
No, I'm trying to get away from the fat people, but the gravitational pull keeps bringing me back.
They're hungry.
Yeah. So yeah, when there's an oil shortage, people get out there and exercise. So there's
oil. Speaking of oil.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of oil, I think here's a positive segue. Here's a gentleman that plays in the oil. No, that's terrible. We've been joined by Mechanic.
Yeah, I got a couple of wrenches, a couple of pints of oil. Yeah, so what?
Yeah, you having a go at me just because I've got lubricant? You having a go?
What about it? I bathe in grease. What about it?
Hey, why don't you go get a slice, sir?
Yeah. Yeah. Exciting and new. I love both. Ladies and gentlemen.
It's up to you.
Love that show.
Yeah, I don't
have some cheese for you.
Start spreading the news.
Hey.
Yeah.
The news. You can't go wrong, right? You want to talk about an absolute panty dropper, right? I'm talking took a bride to that guy. Them panties were off at the end of the night, gentlemen. Is there
That's
a
right.
on this call? Oh boy, I'm in trouble now.
Chairman of the board.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you
I'm not talking BORED.
I dare say there wasn't a lot of panties on to begin with.
well,
guy.
it's
Hey, don't tell that to Mia
it's
Farrow.
called starts,
Don't tell
man.
that to
Yes.
Mia Farrow.
Interesting enough, Don Rickles has the best Sinatra joke ever. Whereas, like, I think he was talking to David Letterman, and he basically is just gone, Frank Sinatra saved my life once, and Dave's gone, oh yeah. Well, Sinatra just said, yeah, that's enough. All right, that's enough.
Let's go, boys.
Punch. Now, while I've got the talkie sticky, I would like to. Planet Collingwood is making its mark in the cultural landscape that is the interwebs, and I share the videos across many platforms because I'm slightly paranoid about big tech censorship. So I can be seen in many places, ladies. However, we did have a review of last week's show, and I did share it on Twitter and Facebook. But this is the tweet, or from the twit, which is me. The latest review is in for Planet Collingwood. What a waste of server space and physical. Full stop. Mental and electrical energy. They seem nice. So, ladies and gentlemen, last week's show, that's how good it was. Apparently,
a nice review from Joe Biden.
So that's obviously the NRA, or not the National Rifle Association. What's the one who looked down your pants digitally? They were the people.
TSA.
Were they the people who were doing the report? You know,
I don't know.
The waste of server space. It's like they were spying on, and they go, "Well, we shouldn't have even kept this." Oh, I was supposed to go out to dinner tonight. They said it was really important. Wasn't important at all.
Well, actually, I do know who the
Mr. Dershowitz is looking down my pants, and I can't help it.
Oh, but Henry, I need to go. I saw Sinatra. My panties fell off.
Oh, no.
Yo, you can't even compare to Sam Kinison. I'm talking
Oh,
Kinison. When Kinison went off about Mr. Swaggart, and who was the female? Jessica Hahn.
Jessica Hahn. Yeah.
Jessica Hahn. Yeah.
Famous.
We can't describe the Kinison. We can't because it's against the Revolution Radio guidelines. But some of his description of how the bedroom scene went with Swaggart and Jessica Hahn. It just got downright ridiculous. One of the funniest things I ever did. Too short. Taken from us way too soon. Sam Kinison, rest his peace. That dude was probably way ahead of his time and a complete maniac. Get this. Before I even got out of high school, I had every comedy album he ever produced. Before I got out of high school, I had everything he recorded. Yeah, put that in your pipe and smoke it.
In my high school, there was a poster, and it had Sam Kinison, and it said, "Don't do drugs." It was like a dare campaign. For some reason, they chose Sam Kinison. It was just
obviously a hot spot.
That cannot be real. That guy's done more coke off a hooker's ass than Dice Clay. Come on.
Probably said, "Don't do dope. Do cocaine."
Dice Clay.
Yeah, have some class when you're doing drugs, ladies and gentlemen. Come on. I can see the attraction. I'm not a big fan of Kinison, but he's still up there in the pantheon of comedy, and I can see why people love him. But it comes down to personal taste. It's like that chap seems to be angry.
No question, Angle was a gifted.
But he enjoyed it. Like I watched Joe Rogan do one of his podcasts with Quentin Tarantino.
It was Jim Baker.
Oh yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Jim Baker. I thought it was.
It was Jim Baker, not Swaggart. But Swaggart might as well be the Antichrist, anyways. But it was Jim Baker. He was crying and the whole thing. Oh, it was beautiful.
Quentin actually, because he grew up in LA, he finally went to the Comedy Store, and it was like 81, and he saw Kinison before he got huge nationwide. So Kinnison left Texas by that point, and ran about, and so Bill Hicks sort of followed him. But I find it interesting that the alternative scene, media and so forth, Hicks is a god, but the mainstream people's like, oh, I've heard of him, and like, how dare you? Oh, come on!
But no. Hicks had more truth than Carlin.
Yeah,
Hicks,
I know.
Hicks used to break down the truth. I mean, Carlin hit the truth. Don't get me wrong, but Bill Hicks, Lenny Bruce, same thing. Bill Hicks, Lenny Bruce. I got to go back to Bill Hicks though. That guy was the Alex Jones of the comedic stand-up.
And there's a slight irony with that because there's a theory.
There's a little bit of twist to that.
Yeah, but it's not true because like
it's
Alex Jones is not funny.
Not
He's not that funny. So and it's quite So
Bill Hicks had the swagger of someone walking around with a 50-pound sledgehammer on his shoulder.
And I'll tell you what, I second what Mr. Rose said today about Alex Jones. And anybody else out there who wants to condemn somebody now, currently listening to Alex Jones, I don't give a damn. You're blind.
What did Mr. Rose say?
What Alex Jones is spitting right now is truth. Over this last week, I have seen Alex Jones. I've probably seen 10 hours of Alex Jones over the last week.
Yeah.
Man, this dude has been on point, and I'm guilty of saying it. I got no problem saying it because
no, you shouldn't have any problems with saying it.
The dude's right. Even if right.
Even if he's controlled opposition, let me finish the sentence. Let me finish. There's a paragraph here. So even if he's controlled opposition, blah 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 blah, and we'll just use the numbers 20-80. He's still got 80% of truth, and you can ignore the other 20. You don't become a disciple, and all he's doing now. Obviously, when I say all he's doing, I don't want to take away from what he is doing. But he's reading white papers from these morons, and he's just spitting it out. And he's been doing it for 20 years and so on and so forth. And he's still part of, I think he says he's the tip of the spear. I would say parts of Revolution Radio, the air breaking on the spear, because I'm getting tired of pointing out things, and then 3 months later people get the credit of like, I just said this. It was like, I said this 3 months ago.
Yeah. No, they're listening. For sure.
Yeah, I know. Well, or just you put the idea into consciousness, and then it filters down. Like, when if you're a memer, it's like, look at this meme. It's like, I showed that 3 months ago.
Like the Ghislaine Maxwell memes that saved her life.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just but there's nothing wrong. You get your information everywhere. I still read the free bit of Benjamin Fulford. Now, I'm not going to bet the farm on everything he says, but I still okay, that's where he's coming from, and and it's fascinating. So you still find out little tidbits of he shares an article from a mainstream source.
Any source, any international source that you can go and have a look at yourself. Yeah, there's certain bits that you need to weave into your fabric of what you see this world.
Yeah,
as.
I mean, I'm a big supporter of David Icke. Now the thing is, I haven't watched any of his stuff for about 3 years.
But he's been saying all this stuff that's come real for the last 20
but a friend of mine actually gave me well, it's that type of thing of like, can we check the results of the US election? No. Okay, that's a big red flag. And so if they're censoring David Icke, who just he basically wants to free humanity in a non-violent way, and they think he's a threat, which gives him kudos because he must be a threat, because if they're scared of it. But, the insane guys, burn it down. Oh, we'll let them go. But a friend of mine from my birthday from last year and this year, I've got his latest book called The Answer, which came out in August. It's 600 pages long, so I'll have to deep dive into that. But it'll be interesting to see what he puts forward, because what's wrong? See, that's the other thing about censorship and burning books and removing history. Like, I think we're adults. We're supposed to be adults. I'll say it that way. And why can't I make a decision of what I want to watch?
Exactly.
Why can't we all make a decision through blockchain? Just get us all on there.
Clearly, because I'm better than you, Cortek. That's why.
Then we might we might think that we can do proper democratic elections with that.
No, see, blasphemer.
By Revolutionary Radio.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I mean that's the fun part of Planet Collingwood. It's now comedy, but that's basically I'll give you a secret. That's to hide the information and investigation and research that we do. We hide it behind a veneer of comedy. Which that review, it's like this is pointless. It's like, yeah, you missed the point.
Who was that person?
No, I'm not. I'm
anonymous.
Yeah, anonymous because it's going to give them attention. Like, okay, now we're not going to spend 45 minutes talking about this. I'm only bringing it up to make a point that we shouldn't.
Well, I didn't think anyone was listening, so that's positive. But
yeah, well,
I got something positive.
There's 5 people on the call, so there's 5 people listening. Okay, this is the short version of it. You'll like this. The Twitterati from the left are freaking out and they want to cancel Mel Gibson because he saluted Donald Trump at the US.
Sorry,
that's I thought they already cancelled him.
You're a little late.
Genius.
Didn't they cancel Mel already because of his anti-Semitism?
Yeah, but he kept making money in Hollywood.
Yeah,
but that's
after that he did Apocalypto was amazing.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not a big fan of the old JC and the Christian, especially the church. Not a fan of the church at all.
He's going to make a Viking movie and it's going to be in all Old Norse language.
Oh, man!
One of my friends is consulting on this. And
awesome!
I wouldn't mind.
Subtitles?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind
there'll
listening
be
to the language, like reading subtitles to listen to the language if they get it right.
Yeah, well, that's what Apocalypto works. I think there's not even one line of Spanish. You just see the boats turn up, and that's
what Passion of the Christ he talks about in Aramaic.
Yeah, that's I watched Passion of the Christ, and I'm like, geez, I don't know how they're going to do a sequel about this.
The Revelation.
But there could be one though. He comes back speaking Aramaic.
They did Paul, the Apostle Paul.
The Passion, the Gospel of Paul.
They did actually. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there you go. So he makes
the same actor played Paul. The same actor, Jim Jarmusch or whatever his name is.
Cervezi.
What?
Same guy played Paul, or did the guy that played Christ played Paul?
Right. He got not electrocuted, but struck by lightning on the cross when they were filming.
That's all.
He actually literally broke his shoulder.
Man,
I told you we shouldn't do this. I told you he'd be angry. You didn't listen to me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, everyone's a critic.
I was actually on my roof in the middle of a thunderstorm. My grandma and my father has just gone roughly home, right, towards home, and I know exactly where they were going in what direction. And here I am on my roof with me dog. Trust me, that's funny as right on the roof, watching
in
the
a
thunderstorm.
I'm not watching one. Not
did anyone else? When Paul said that,
on the roof.
Okay.
Yeah, when Paul said I'm on the roof in a thunderstorm, did anyone have that same footage of that guy in Florida bare-chested with an American flag? You know the photo.
You mean Zuckerberg on the surfboard?
No, it's how. Yeah, so
that's not a surfboard, by the way.
That's not in a hurricane.
That's a submarine.
Typhoon. Yes, I saw that. We'll get to that in a moment, mechanic. That's once again, God expressing itself. Very funny. So keep going. Finish your thought there, Paul.
I love that mechanic.
So anyway, my mother, my father, and my grandmother going up towards the factories and this and that, and I've timed it. I go, they're roughly right. I've seen the strike, and I go, they're roughly where the strike was, right? And then I've waited until they've got home, and I rang him up. I go, did you see the strike? And then goes, I was blinded. I was so scared. Dad had to take the wheel. And I go, but you made it home safely and this and that? And they go, yes, yeah. But right next to it the tree exploded. It was funny as, but not.
Well,
but
yeah,
not
you
quite,
can say that because no one died.
because no one got injured. Yeah, no one got injured.
You know what's interesting is that it's Loki and Thor, the thunder and the lightning. The lightning is Loki, and the thunder is Thor.
Well, according to Stargate, that's just a couple of greys having some fun. But now ladies and gentlemen, Planet Collingwood now goes to our reporter on the ground, the mechanic. We'd like to share with you an interesting story.
Okay, I got to go back to Loki. This is how ridiculous Loki is, right? Loki has the word variant written on its back, right? He's got the tattoo variant on his back.
In the TV show, yes.
Right.
In the show.
And what is he doing? He's running from governments all over the world.
Right.
Multiverse, actually, but yeah.
All right. What's going on in this country? What's going on in the world right now? Variants are hopping from one country to another, and governments are locking people down and making arrests and losing their mind and going berserk. It's Loki. It literally is predictive programming in the moment. Now, I'm telling you, they're out in the open with it all right now.
Wow.
Yeah, well, you know, a good point of that is basically maroon moron. The French guy, the French Prime Minister has said, we're going to lock down 100% vaccines, passports, and everything else like that. And it's like, you're doing this very close to Bastille Day. This is not going to end well.
Nothing coincidental about that at all.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to continue on.
John,
cut me off anytime. What's going on? What was that? Finish your mark. Go ahead.
No, you go. I want to hear this.
Okay. Well, Loki. Okay, I don't want to get too deep into Loki. Let's play this video.
Well, a mural of George Floyd here in Toledo is no longer standing tonight. It collapsed this afternoon, 1 year after it was painted on the side of an old bar. New tonight, 13 ABC's Josh Cooper is there live with what caused it to crumble and the reaction from the neighborhood there. Josh?
Josh, you there?
Josh.
Yeah, Josh. They went ahead.
Just the north end of Toledo.
Tremaine Mitchell runs by this part of Summit Street at the intersection of LaGrange all the time. When he gets here, he knows he's home. But instead of this catching his eye Tuesday, it was this. The George Floyd mural, painted on the side of the old Mugshots bar, crumbled into a pile of broken bricks.
Right before that storm hit, I just pulled in my driveway, and it wasn't down. I would have noticed it right away. I noticed it when they put it up. I would have noticed it when it came down.
A witness told Toledo firefighters they saw a lightning strike hit the building. A city inspector says there are no concerns about the structure as a whole. The building part is fine, but it's the outer layer of brick that now has to come down.
It was beautiful actually when it was up.
Listen for it.
They redo it.
Right now, it sounds like that's the plan. A City of Toledo spokesperson says they're going to work with the Arts Commission to build a new mural there or find it a new home. The artist, David Ross, finished it in July 2020. Since then, It's been a site where people have gathered for memorials to remember George Floyd. Now those moments here will have to also include the memories of the mural.
Get a grip. Get a grip.
Let's have a memory of the mural day.
Yeah, all right, that's enough. I'm just like, every time they say George Floyd, I'm just thinking fentanyl. But that's me.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, someone dying.
How is that news? That's what you said.
I think that's.
I'm gonna look. Revolution Radio. I'm gonna put this in chat. So get a grip. I'm on my way.
Yeah, check it out. It's my friend posted it, and he said, "Isn't this interesting?"
I love it.
A George Floyd monument got struck by lightning and thunder.
What?
I love it when
I
love it when the planet shows that kind of humor.
I got to tell you, I think God and Mother Nature had a conversation about things.
I think they're funny people.
No. I think they sat down and they went to a bar and had a whiskey.
Yeah.
No. Well, you're close.
And
you're close.
Think they had a funny time.
St. George Floyd is in heaven, and he found some fentanyl again, and he started playing around with the old the trident that Zeus has, and he let one go.
Not in that other manner.
No. I mean,
he threw a trident.
Yeah, man. This will mess people up. Bam.
You don't believe in God. You don't want to believe in Jesus. You don't believe in the Bible. You don't go to church. You don't do Sunday school. You don't buy into any of the narrative, right?
They didn't give me a songbook.
I'm just saying in general, right? So you have these individuals. They're just kind of agnostics. They're non-believers. They're nihilist almost to a point, right?
Yeah.
It goes to that.
Now that takes effort.
It does take effort. To not believe in anything takes a shit ton of effort.
Yeah.
Which is a belief.
It really does. If people don't understand that. It takes so much effort to hate something or someone than it does to enjoy a moment. Think about it.
And muscles on your face takes more.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's why they have to start with the CRT early and often with these kids. CRT, for those of you who don't know how they're poisoning your children in schools throughout this country right now, it's called critical race theory. And you should be completely appalled.
And someone pointed this out on Twitter, and like, you're completely correct, because it's like, critical race theory is very critical of the white people. And it's like, yes, it is, but it also is anti-black, because the critical race theory it says that black people are useless. They can't use a photocopier. They can't get on the internet. And it's like, yeah, basically critical race theory is racist with everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, and the Babylon Bee's having a field day, ladies and gentlemen. If you need some humor, just check out Babylon Bee. There's a plane load of Democrats who left Texas, so the government couldn't have quorum to pass a bill, and so the Babylon Bee article was all these other governors are heading towards Texas to find out what Governor Abbott did to get rid of. No, how can we get Democrats to leave our state?
Yep.
The other one was Kamala Harris was actually burnt at a stake because she showed some rural African Americans a photocopying machine, and they thought it was witchcraft.
What are you going to say, Mechanic? I'd like to talk more about what Mechanic was saying too. And like when I was going through school, I saw every single year the curriculum change.
Mm-hmm.
And it was impossible to compare yourself and your schooling to even 5 years before, mm-hmm. or 5 years after. I'm seeing more and more examples of schooling just getting corrupted and diluted down.
Indoctrination.
Oh no, it's much worse than that. It's the pussification of America. That's right. I'll say it again a little slower. We are witnessing firsthand the pussification of America.
I wanted to ask that. How the fornication did younger generations become such wilted pansies?
Spineless.
There, I said it.
Gutless.
The progressives from the 80s are now in positions of teaching and unification and all that type of stuff. It's been happening. Yeah, thank you for that moment of optimism. They didn't nail the Vietnam. That will shake it up. But the thing is, you've had Afghanistan for 2 decades. Yeah. It doesn't work. But the thing is, pedantic man, hello, it's global.
He's back.
I've always been here. How dare you? It's global as well. Like the same thing here in Australia. It's happening in the United States. There's a great book. I can't remember the title because I'm an idiot.
Great story, bro.
Yeah, totally, man. Hey, don't mess with my pronouns, all right?
What did it say?
It was basically the dumbing down of America, where it happened. It's a century old. They've slowly chipped away at changing the curriculum, and this is from I can't remember her name, but she was the education minister, or however you say it in the American government model,
Secretary.
Department of Education.
For Reagan. In the 80s.
Yeah.
And she released the book about 10, 15 years ago. And it's just
Dolly
like,
Parton.
No, not
joking,
the other. Yeah, yes, clearly, but it's they remove critical thinking from the stimulus, stimulus, whatever it is at a school.
John Stewart
curriculum
grants.
Curriculum,
curriculum.
Yeah, because can you imagine actually teaching primary school, elementary school kids critical thinking at the age of 7 or 8?
Well, and the
maybe
important
6
books that they should read to give themselves some self-value.
Yeah, but which books
they
though?
barely know how to poop.
I knew how cameras worked before I got out of 6th grade, like the physical workings of it inside of a camera. Like time I was in high school, I was doing drafting of a piston, and I knew how to saw, with an assortment of different types of tools, use an ARG, a vise, work on cars, shoot a gun. All of that is gone.
Yeah, I mean, some of that was in the classroom, some of it was in behind the back sheds. I got a gun. I took out.
No.
I know.
Guns in my school.
Yeah.
What you're talking about is it should be talked about. It's the generations that have come since the internet has been made seem to arrive with a sense of I should be directing this company or something. Why are you putting me at the bottom here? I should get as much as the CEO basically when they come into it. Just with that kind of attitude, but they've got there is no experience behind it.
It's got that. They want everything given to them without doing anything. It's got to the point that some schools in the United States, I'm not sure about outside of the United States, but you're familiar with the movie / book To Kill a Mockingbird?
Of course.
Yes. Apparently they're banning
one of those classics.
Yeah, it's a classic, and it's a great fable, if that's the right word, of racism, especially when it was set and what actually happened. And it's brilliant. Now the thing is, they were like, we're pulling it from the curriculum and we're removing it from the library because it makes people uncomfortable. That's what it's supposed to do. That's the whole idea of the book.
That's what's so amazing about books or any kind of writing like that that's put in parable. You are not directly in the situation, yet if you are thinking about what you're reading, then you can learn from someone else's spot in that situation.
The John Grisham movie with Matthew McConaughey and Samuel Jackson.
Time
to Kill. That one that's a modern day To Kill a Mockingbird one because the spoiler alert, it's been out since 20 years. But anyway, all right. You think but the thing is that the twist at the end is that Matthew McConaughey, who is the lawyer, explains what's going on of what actually happened to Samuel Jackson's daughter. But the twist is, and it's quite easy and it makes sense. And now imagine if she's white, and you can see the whole room just go. But so there you go.
Hey.
Yeah, I know. It was so funny. Coral Creek and Monty, back in the 80s and early 90s, right? You've seen so many books just disappear. Like they wouldn't give you nuclear physics or anything. Some books just
how to make your own nuclear reactor, that disappeared off the shelves.
Yeah, well, all of them. Or even how to do your own inside turbines running through water.
Because cookbook, that
turbines, not turbines. Turbines are that's a hack.
There was so much stuff that but they physically took off the shelves, and it just disappeared.
Yep. Yeah. Someone said that recently in terms of cars. They used to publish car manuals with how to do your piston, like his mechanic says, how to do pistons and in tuning your car and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
And then
they made books out into publishers and this and that, the Gregory books and this and that, right?
Yeah,
because
I've got one of those
but
books.
You could find, you could find in the library how to be an engineer correctly.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I bought the manual for my car, so I can hand to someone who knows what they're doing. I own the book; it's very nice, but it's like, here you go, fix it, please.
Yeah. What do you got there, mechanic?
Actually,
read it for yourself. Go ahead, read it out loud.
Okay. Here's
UK library forced to apologise after hiring man in monkey dildo costume. Let's pause and reflect on those 3 words: a monkey dildo costume to perform in front of children.
Well, I'm glad they were forced to apologise because they wouldn't have done it of their own accord. That's for sure.
No. Taxpayer dollars. Taxpayer dollars right here, bro. Monkey dildo costume. Let's run it. It's play-by-play by Jones. Go ahead.
I'm going to ask you guys if you think this is sheer stupidity or a targeted or some kind of program where
it's a test. It's to see what we'll tolerate. It's to see what the UK will tolerate. What they're willing to allow.
Yeah.
People spoke up. People spoke up here, and they shut it down, which is the way it should go. No. In America, this is what we deal with. Space alien males in the most deranged costume attire ever, the makeup, everything, no panties, just pulled a basic instinct in front of a bunch of 10-year-olds in a public library, and that's okay.
That's not okay.
I just basically think, remember
it's
Amway?
It's super feeding time for the children in America. Awesome. Next class, CRT.
Yeah, it's basically the Amway model, where it's not a pyramid, it's a trapezoid.
It's a trapezoid. There is no top for you.
No. So it's just cultish. I mean, now I'm not having a go at the Mormon church, but they do something. That's part of the thing.
Have a go at them. Yeah. Have a big go at them. They're a bunch of fornicators.
Yeah,
they're like.
I would if I can. One day I'll finish a sentence. Now you pause where I finish my sentence. Thanks for that.
What was it again?
But the Mormons, they have missions and they send people out and try and recruit new members of the church. That's
like Christianity Light.
Well, it's a different version because they've got their own book where Jeebus turns up 3 days later in South America.
I don't think they bother to do any of the rites of Mithras or anything else Christianity kind of stole. With the waving of the incense and stuff like that to seem like they're outright robbery and sitting there of gold.
We should write a sketch about we should write a sketch about religions arguing with each other, and the Christians like, look, we've got the 10 Commandments, and the Jews like, excuse me, that's ours. Then the Egyptians like, hey, I don't think so. We had a 3,000. This is so good radio. Everyone talk over each other, please.
Well, listen, finish it off. Home stretch.
And the Egyptians kick up. It's like, hey, we had that 5,000 years before you. Oh, look at that. We're being persecuted.
And then we're around in big circles because they were just doing emojis.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, hieroglyphs, emojis. It's wow. Yeah, if I can you please take that very bad man off my screen,
Mr. Monkey Dildo costume?
Yeah, it's very colourful, and it's like,
no. I'm not taking this off your screen. You need to see this. You need to understand what this is about here. Okay?
I do. I'm scared.
I love the title.
You should be very scared. Be very afraid.
Oh, don't make it bigger.
There we go. Yeah.
I love the title, but is that really Monkey Dildo? Like it's just funny, weird, bare-chested monkey.
Let's see if we can get a better image. He may not show it on his own website. Okay.
Yeah, that's all.
That's all is he bending over there? Like, yeah, it's the acid should be used in controlled situations. That's all I'm saying there.
That's something for some kind of hen's night or something, isn't it? That's not for children.
It should be not in public, at least. What's going on here is...
there we go. There we go. He's got the cucumber out the bottom as well.
Yeah. That rainbow monkey has its lipstick out.
That is awkward looking, hanging out the bottom of that sign in that one. That is... That's all kinds of wrongness. Yeah, wave it about. Oh my God, what were they thinking?
Oh.
Yeah, I'm glad this is radio. So,
is this like a tranny?
Thank God it's radio because it's sort of indescribable. All we can see is
we can't say much.
Hey, mechanic, what is the title of this YouTube clip or something? Just tell people.
It's not on YouTube.
This is from Alex. This is actually not Alex. This is Ridge Bridge. I'll get this to you.
Okay.
1 second. I'm gonna
Library London Rainbow Monkey thing.
I'm gonna put it in our chat and then I'll put it.
If you want to see this, go to Revolution Radio. Check this stuff out.
Now, let's see. Now, I'm not exactly. I'm totally fan with. I'm with Deacon with it. What do you do in your bedroom is totally fine. Consulting adults, that's fine. When it turns into a propaganda piece for a political movement and you're targeting children, why is sexuality near children? I've got this weird thing because
it shouldn't be.
Yeah, because you know how back in the day we used to they used to sacrifice virgins. Yeah, well, that's code for children. They used to kill children. And can you please get that thing off my? My God! Look at the size of that thumb.
I don't know how rainbow you're going, but that's funny.
That was super wrong. And UK, shame.
Yeah, because there is a rave scene in the United Kingdom, but since their summer lasts 3 days and it rains for the rest of the year, so if you're tripping balls on, you're huffing on the old chrome, you're chroming. And if anyone playing at home has no idea what chroming is, some genius has gone, you know what, I need a new high, so I'm going to buy a can of spray paint, spray it into a plastic bag, and inhale the fumes. Because that's going to do wonders for your brain, isn't it, ladies and gentlemen?
It's going to be super healthy for multifaceted systems in your body.
That's quite amusing. When I was doing LPG, because it's fluorocarbons and this and that, which is the basis of chromium, right?
Paul, can you expand on, because I just said don't do drugs, and you just said while I was doing LG,
What do you mean by that? Hey, I got a giddy story for you.
Yeah, I got a story for you about crewmen. Did you want to crew everybody? And but on the odd occasion, you have to release a gas tank, right?
No. You mean you're actually installing an L whatever it is?
No, I'm repairing.
The only way to make it stop is to go straight through the.
It's already been installed by me.
All right. So for those, if anyone's still listening, Paul repairs fuel lines and so forth for vehicles. He doesn't actually do gas. He doesn't enjoy LG.
That's not his favourite recreational activity.
That's
what this is taking forever to just point out, just for
fat people.
I do not condone drugs or whatnot in any way, shape, or form, unless you've broken bones and the doctor gives it to you. And
you want to explore consciousness.
Oh, yeah. Well, you're exploring my consciousness because this does not make any sense. One sentence. 45 minutes ago.
On the odd occasion, jeez. Well, when you release a LPG gas tank, right? If it's bare minimum or if it's halfway full, you could just depressurize it and then put in a new. It depends, right? If it's a quick fix and this and that, it's got to be outdoors and in a blowy area. You can only do it certain times, Otherwise, potential you could blow up the whole factory.
Where's the beef of this story?
Don't breathe in the gas.
What happened when you breathed in the gas?
Well, you got to get away. You get lightheaded. You feel dizzy, and
you go on radio and ramble.
Do you have any do you have any cases of?
That's when I was cooking.
Did you have any cases?
You earned this, bro. I wish because the last time you came up,
that'd be amusing.
You do understand it's one at a time, right? We're not at a bar because I'm broke.
I'm at a bar when I'm on this radio.
Yeah.
Paul, understand that you've earned a little bit today. You've earned a little bit today. Okay. Sit back down in that chair and take it like a good man, all right? Hey, fellas, what I got playing on the screen right now, okay?
What are we looking at here?
Proof positive of election fraud. You're looking at
that.
Look at this.
I was there on election night. We did the radio show the whole night. Jacka came on at about 4 a.m. I said, has this ever happened before where they stopped counting? Is this unprecedented?
Duplicate ballots. Different serial numbers entered for each ballot, but they're the exact same. That's what this is.
Yeah.
When you said earlier on it was all out in the open, it is all out in the open, and we can see it all out in the open, but still nothing's changing. We can see that, wearing 3 masks is not going to solve racism, but still people are being forced to do it. I was in the hardware shop patting fertilizer the other day, and I just stand there.
Say that again. You were patting fertilizer.
Cool.
In the bag. When it's stacked up there in fertilizer bags. Yeah. Was it warm? Yeah. You give it a good
Which one were you going for? The mushroom or the general purpose? Because I
just see that it's vaguely fertilizer, and I give a good pat as I'm walking by. Anyway, I'm standing there looking at something else. I'm saying, we're in lockdown here. We got masks on and stuff. I'm standing there, and these two guys.
Masks on?
No, we got masks on in Bunnings or whatever. That gets mandatory. It's in lockdown. All kind of retail places.
I'll never wear a mask.
All right. Okay.
Well, then
everyone stop interrupting and let the sentence end.
Chances are you won't be allowed in some of these shops then when it gets to that. So whatever. You put one on if you want to go in there and shop. And I'm standing there basically. I've got just let me finish for a second. I've got the mask pulled down to my chin basically so I can actually breathe. Because you can't breathe in these things. It's true. No one should be exercising or walking around them. If you're standing still with one, sure, maybe that's okay. But walking around is not going to do you any health. So I'm standing there, and these two guys walk behind me. And, I've been standing there for about 3 minutes looking at these things. There's lots of different options. I'm going, oh, maybe that's good or whatever. These two people come into my space, and one of them goes, mechanics talked about this, but I've not seen examples of this ridiculousness, which is, paragraph 1.2, divide and conquer, get people to fight themselves. So I'm saying that this person walks past and goes, oh, look at this. This person's not even wearing their mask. And I've got one on. I've just pulled down my chin so I could breathe. I'm like, you do you. You do you, you fornicating people. And you just these people who would say that and turn on their fellow man are just so
well. Yeah, it's
wrong.
Yeah, but it's like they get into they get closer than 1.5 meters or 6 feet.
I'm just standing still.
Yeah, exactly. And they come into your COVID space and tell you're doing something wrong. It's like, step back.
It was it was kind of catty too. And I'm like, you do you fornicating homos. And then one of them went, oh, that's not socially acceptable, and went up there. Like they didn't say that, but one of them pissed off, and one of them who was actually in there to do something, looked at what they were doing, and kept on doing what they're doing, and then as they walked off, maybe they took a picture of me like some kind of creep to put up on their social media as someone who said the H word. But get the fornication out of town.
That's part of the reality. Yeah. So the thing is that the one reality paradigm is falling apart because you've got the division and like there's a deadly virus out there. It's like Woke Nation
doesn't realize that everyone else just is being polite.
Like, I'll try the joke again. There's a virus out there. Yes, it's called the media.
Hey, it's true.
Yeah.
But I guess it's true.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not the COVID, because even if COVID is as deadly it was 18 months ago, the variants are weaker because that's how it works.
Let's look at the data. Let's look at the data of 18 months ago. We took a model from a UK pseudo-scientist, and the model was taken because it was so vague to begin with.
No, actually,
can we not look at the
tweak
data?
that? To actually tweak to that, he retracted it in a week or 2 weeks later. It's like, no, I was wrong.
Yeah,
and they ignored that bit.
Yeah, no, well, it chose you because you were so vague.
It's just getting insane, and also, apparently there's an APEC. I know Pacific's in there, economic something. I don't know what the A and the C stands for. We can make up words, but I want to stay on radio.
Let's just call them common.
Yeah. The leaders of APEC are getting together. Apparently it's in November, but they're doing a virtual. Thank you. Asian Pacific Economic Council. That's how close. Anywho, it's the leaders all getting together and talking crap.
Con
There's
leaders.
apparently in November in New Zealand they're actually doing it, but they're called for a virtual meeting. I think at the end of this week or the end of next week, and we have to battle the pandemic because no one can be left behind. Now,
your Freudian slip there was almost better.
Yeah,
no
I
one
know.
could be left to hide.
Yeah, exactly. My brain does wonderful things, and then 99% of the time it doesn't.
Stupid brain.
You stupid brain. He's like, shut up. All right, I'm sorry. I'll go eat donuts. Oh no, I want donuts. Biden's turning up as well as Putin because they're all technically part of the Asia Pacific area, and who knows what they're going to try. They're going to try and force. If we play the conspiracy world or what if game, they're all getting together and they're trying to enforce the New World Order. It's like, well, that's a possibility. Even I think all these idiots are duped and they think they're doing the good for humanity. And it's three guys got, that show, America's like, say ice cream. It's those three guys. Yeah. Well, we're halfway through Planet Collingwood here on Revolution Radio Studio A. No idea what we're talking about, but I'm having fun like last week. So let's try and get those crappy reviews in, ladies and gentlemen. So everyone mute up, and we'll be back after these messages. Welcome back. Here is Planet Collingwood. Halfway through its celestial orbit. You're on Studio A, Revolution Radio, and Viking is trying to make me throw up again. My name is Monty Dean. You're awesome. I've been joined by Brandon Young, Cortek, Aust, and the Mechanic. We're just shooting the pool, shooting the breeze, not shooting at all. We're Australians. We don't have any guns. We don't have any.
I was going to say spew.
Yeah, yeah, but in America it means something completely different. Spew means so I'll explain that off air. And thank you. If you enjoyed the last hour, I know we did. Donate what you can. There's a Patreon. I'm going to start my own Patreon because I need to pay rent. So do some special stuff. There's some evil plans in the background being formulated.
I thought it was great. I thought it was great fun the last hour, and it just made me think more about people who review stuff. And really, you can't trust anyone else's opinion on what movie might be good or bad because it never works. And reviewers, I think we need to start kind of, if you've actually done the job, you can review this stuff. But if you haven't have the experience, you don't get to review it. What about that?
Yeah. Oh, you're talking about that. Yeah, and sorry. I'm just
trying to make less people talk.
I'd like to shout out to Brian Smith, if that's your real name. I think it is. But apparently Jackie Chan. You want to turn that off because, I don't know if I'm watching porn or it's a documentary. Thank you.
I'm sorry.
No, it's bad, dude. That's not porn, bro. That's a transgender male giving birth and then trying to breastfeed it.
What?
Thanks. Yeah.
That's not going to work.
Yeah, see that sounds like a more comedic story than Jackie Chan praises the CCP.
Oh, let's finish Jackie Chan first.
Finish him. Listen, well, you could try Cortek. Many people have tried to finish him.
We'll be back.
But no, apparently he's actually come out and praised the Chinese Communist Party, and he's upset fans inside and outside of China. Like, no, really? No, they're very good. They're very good. Yeah. It's like
fans aren't going to knock on your door with an AK-47.
Mr. Chan, blink once if the CCP actually have a family member. Blink twice that you're being threatened.
Everything is okay. I love my government.
My government is so good. My government is so good.
Have you ever seen his MTV Cribs?
No.
And he talks about how he gardens naked.
Oh,
I'd do that too if I had an extensive garden.
Yeah, it was private.
And
enough.
I was just going to say,
what a great idea, Jack.
Who wouldn't do that? That's so cool.
Well, it's like if you're a neighbor, it's like, I was like, you really want to get those 50-foot trees in, Jackie.
Those poplars. I'd if I could, I'd wear a fresh pair of socks every day.
Yeah.
Nothing like putting a
I've
fresh
written-
pair of socks on.
Yeah.
So I
Mommy,
can understand the naked thing. That's all I'm saying.
Mommy, I was told that Grandpa used to be rich. Yeah, but he bought socks every day.
Put in that goddamn sock factory.
Yeah.
You know what a good exercise to do is to throw away all your old socks and then just get new ones.
Look at your jaw. Look at your drawer and let it bring you joy.
Is that what it is?
A la the Japanese chick who goes, if you're looking in your pants drawer, you should feel joy. Don't just chuck stuff in there. Roll them up neatly so you can roll them vertically and neatly so you can see what you get.
See, I
Is this an Australian folk tale?
Oh, yeah, many moons ago, we used to get the old trousers out, get the dacks out, and then it would roll them up and put them away because that's how you have a better life.
Spring cleaning
Mad
dack
Max
session.
and Crocodile Dundee, eh?
There's been too much pain. There's been
we
too
went
much
to the
anger.
Mapatazzi.
All we want is the toilet paper.
That's
And
not
the
a pair of
dacks.
dacks.
Yeah, you call them dacks. These are dacks.
These are dacks.
This
is
silly.
Perth.
Everything should bring you joy when you look at it.
Did you know, Brandon, did you know that Perth is the most isolated city in the world?
You know, I knew that.
Yeah.
100%.
So every time I'm watching a medical program, let's put him in isolation. Oh, my God, they're sending him to Perth.
Not again.
There's like 1 million people there, yeah.
Yeah. Well, for those playing at home, to drive from Adelaide to Perth, it takes 4 days.
Yeah. It's one of those statistics that are just obviously wrong.
No. That's Victoria to Perth. Adelaide's.
Oh no, I've lied on national radio, on global radio. What will ever happen? The red horse of crankiness will come down, and Viking really wants a fight.
What's going on? Why is he not coming in?
It's basically a chimera between the genders. Because, ladies and gentlemen, remember I judge everyone by skeleton. That's how I lol. And that's no Blair. That's no Blair White. I'll put it that way.
It's no Blair Witch either. It's some sort of Betty.
This is really bad right here, bro.
It's going to happen.
Yeah, it's
whether you think it's bad or not, it's going to happen. People moving into the future are going to wonder what it's like to experience the different sex, and the technological advances are going to move more and more in the direction where we can experience that if we want to.
Yeah.
So you shouldn't be getting upset about the people who want to do that because they're, whatever else is going on in their life isn't bringing them much satisfaction.
It's just when it turns into a political organization targeting kids, that's when I step in. But
that's ridiculous.
Free will. But the thing is, I'm going to probably lose my ally status, even though I've said.
Do you have one?
It's the overextension of power of any power that comes into new power. There is an overextension of that power, and that's what we're seeing.
Well, see, transgender man is code for woman. That's all it is. That's all it was. Transgender woman is code for man. It's so simple. Now, the thing is, if you choose, if you do no harm, and this is where the children come involved, it's like, I know, hey, Cortek, I've got an idea. Let's just get that monkey suit, paint it all different colors, and then get my mum's dildo, and then I'll hang out at the library.
Yeah, let's put a big fat cock right in the front of it for the kids.
Yeah. That's a trademark name, by the way.
Yeah.
It's so wrong. But then it is one random story that has got coverage. Now, there's got to be another 10 random stories that haven't got coverage of retarded stuff like this. And you got to go back to, is it a targeted program or is it just stupidity?
A bit of both. A bit of both.
I'd say a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
Joe Rogan pointed out, there may be a small group of people trying to sway, try and sway the social makeup. But what they've done, on the flip side of it is, you've got from the 80s, the controllers set out their little minions, and the culture has grown. It's not controllable. No, the culture's there, and
social engineering, isn't it?
Yeah, and so it's not like CIA. It's not like the media of the Operation Mockingbird and propaganda. They've just they sowed they sowed the seeds in the 80s, and now it's filtered through into universities, and now it's in Hollywood, where it's not about the money, it's about the message. Well, what about a good story? Yeah, but
I think the money in Hollywood. I think the money in Hollywood has changed as well.
Well, Peter Gabriel is the main Illuminati kingpin.
Well, see, I believe that because that doesn't sound that bad.
No, but Jacob Dylan believes in the whole Laurel Canyon. He's cited on Joe Rogan. You talked to Joe Rogan, Monty. If you listen to the latest Jacob Dylan, who's Bob Dylan's son, for people.
Yeah, what does he say?
You can't believe that
you would grow up with a father like that without trying to get to the bottom of things.
And he also grew up in L.A., and he says, he did a documentary on Laurel Canyon called Echo in the Canyon. And he said, well, if you look at weird scenes inside the canyon by David McGowan.
It's a book or something.
It was a front for a CIA, and you could argue that the real conspiracy, he actually said, was the hippie movement was the dumbing down of the world and America. He's like,
social engineering again.
And Joe Rogan was like, "Oh, I don't know what you're talking about." Yeah, he knows exactly. That's what Alex Jones always says.
Like let's just say things as facts. Every single war is started by a false flag. Most major crises are started by people social engineering because they're too bored.
Or it's manipulated later on. Quick question for the Brains Trust around our hexagon table. It's not round. There's pointy bits. So it's a couple of trapezoids together. When did World War One start?
Assassination of Ferdinand Duke.
What year did World War II start?
1914, arguably. That's what they say.
You've just gone deep. Like World War II, not one.
From which country's point of view, I'd ask.
I mean, because there is that joke of what was the result of World War One, World War II, correct? So
quickest joke in the world.
Versailles.
Just pick. I mean, that's the deep level crap. But when did
officially 39?
All right, okay. So you've got 39. Brandon, you would say 41, 42, or 41. Is it 41?
41. You're right. 41.
Yeah, it's December. Yeah, it's you've got 3 weeks. 41. And Ostpaul, I'm going to guess you're probably going to say 39. Okay, we'll take that on board.
That's locked in.
Yep. Mechanic, what date, what year would you put in the start of World War II?
I'd like to ask from what country's point of view, because I think that's important.
1918 or no? Yeah, 1918, right? Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm talking more about combat, but you are, Brandon, and you are correct. It's like World War One is the result of World War II,
right?
Because of how everything was shifting around. The League of Nations didn't work. My point being is when you soldiers going out and shooting people, that would have started. And Cortek, you are correct, because it's actually 1936 or 1937. Whenever the Japanese entered China,
it depends how you define it. That's all.
Yeah, I just did. That's the first part. That's the first.
And all wars have been manufactured. There's that.
Yeah, because Hitler did. Even when Hitler went into his reasoning to go into Poland was to get to the German bits on the other side of Poland, Danzig, not the band or the guy. There's actually a place called Danzig. But yeah, exactly. Yeah. Now the thing is that there seems to be a false flag involved or something.
That's the official story.
Yeah, so however it started, but that's from Australia. That's when Australia entered World War. But the very first part of it was the Japanese going, "Oh, we are better than everyone else. If you get caught by us, you have no honor." And
Big Bang.
What you mean, that theory that was made up in the 1500s?
Ooh,
that's right. Gloves are off.
Have you ever read Genesis?
Just call it how you see it, Monty.
I've listened to Genesis, and I haven't heard anything about Christ.
Peter Gabriel.
Exactly. Anyway. That's right. Yeah, the leader of the free world.
I saw
when the Japanese went in, which could be like 34 or 36, 30 around there. It was before when Hitler kicked off, and Italy as well. So
Hitler kicked off. That's a euphemism.
Yeah, it's a sporting term.
Yeah.
It's an Aussie.
Whenever he celebrated his
when he
coming of
started.
age,
You know,
his
adult.
bar mitzvah.
I mean, he was lied about, but he still was a meth head, tyrannical, insane,
He woke up.
genocidal.
He didn't like to have his breakfast.
Fornicator. Say fornicator.
Yeah.
It's easier. Just you get past that sentence. You don't have to muck about.
No, but he was vegan.
Oh, get past. Wait, are you pushing your views on me?
Me, yes, I am.
Always right to this
Are you
sharing a
You'll
fornicator
taste
about
my
the cheese?
knuckles on the back of my
Mechanic.
hand.
Remember, mechanic is
taste like?
black.
Say what?
Well, no, just
Mechanic
the greasy
is
parts.
black.
Just the greasy parts. His hands.
Well, his hands and his
You got
Al
any white
Jolson.
people in the
Well, I don't
garage,
see.
they'll be saying,
I don't
Clean
see
up.
any white. I don't see any white grease.
What happened?
Wait, go back about fat people. What?
Fat people.
Fat
I've been
people
losing
got
weight as well.
No
I've got.
reason to.
Yeah, well, they do, because that's the one thing I've noticed by losing weight. I'll do
Fat
a little
people.
routine. Yeah, well, yes, I
Nothing
was rather
worse
large.
than someone who was fat, like a revived smoker.
I
Nice.
wait, but I'll turn into you. What are you weighing? Yeah. Anyway. But
He had a first
how-
draft, and now he's a
bizarre
first draft
is-
smoker, and
very
now
hard
he's
to
a
do
revised
coffee
smoker.
I can actually do up my shoe and breathe again. That's fantastic, because like beforehand you've got like
How'd you learn that?
How do I learn? Well, I lost
He
weight.
got unfit.
Oh,
Yeah.
you smell your shoe? That's
No, tie my shoe. To tie.
Oh, gotcha.
It's a belly gag.
How you
Yeah,
doing?
yeah. See, here in the Western world, we have shoes. I don't know what they have in your backward little country.
We call them clothes.
we carve them from the tree.
Lothar of the hill people.
You have footwear. You must be.
Yeah, we're basically Conan the Barbarian in America, which is also great.
Do it. Fart name sound.
Oh God. We've
All right,
regressed.
we're into the prop gags now.
Yeah,
Hyperborea.
yeah, which is kind of props on
X-Files,
radio.
X-Files.
But also, the ability to walk through a shopping center and not a small child get stuck in my gravitational pull. So there's that. And, sweating, standing up.
Sweating's got to be a big one for the morbidly obese side.
And also, and as you lose weight, the rest of your body's like, thank you, because like the muscles aren't straining under gravity, and
your heart's not working at 150%.
Are you trying to say I need to lose weight, Monty? Is that what you're?
No free will. I mean, if you want to be dead by 30 and have diabetes and lose a foot, I mean, that's one way of losing weight. Yes.
Pro-choice. You do what you want to do.
Yeah,
but
you
you're
put
morbidly
whatever you want into your body. It's
I'm
free
losing
will.
weight. Okay, I'm trying to get rid of it. All right, I'm working on it.
I don't reckon you can play any of these sound effects and that kind of work. Except I don't know what that chicken one does.
I'm working on it.
Well, I'm just pointing out my story, and if people get triggered by my story, then it's you.
Yeah,
and also,
his story.
Yeah,
yeah.
If you got a problem with someone else, then you've got the problem.
Slap 31. Ding! What, that 31 slaps? No, you go down. Oh, by the way, for the Mechanic is on a website where you press a button like this.
Yeah.
And a sound effect goes ahead. So, teamwork. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
I have a friend, if you guys want to check it out on YouTube.
Oh, that's cool.
Called Paranormal Hood out of Boston.
Paranormal Hood.
And this guy name is Jiggy, and he's a big black guy.
Is that his real name?
I swear.
Is his real name really?
He's the only UFO black guy other than Billy Carson. And
what was it again? Paranormal what?
Hood.
Hood. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's interesting.
Wow. But he always plays sound effects like toilet flushing and things like that. It's good. It's good stuff.
It's funny.
Yeah. Breaks it up.
Now, say my name.
That's racist.
I'm getting better at this, I tell you.
Yeah. 9. Anyway. That's
so funny. I don't want to hijack it. Come on.
No. I think sound effects are great.
When used
Where's
correctly.
hijacker these days?
How do you go from sound effect to
He was
hijacker?
so right about everything, wasn't he? Just kidding. He was wrong about everything. We're going to take this election back. They're not going to be elected.
Yeah, but
as
I said before, that the one reality is falling apart. So we are the center of our universes, and so whatever's happening in your world is true to you.
Yeah, exactly. Hijacker is my god, and I worship him every day. And
how do you do
on my
that?
knees.
Do you have a shrine? Just get down.
I have
on
a
your knees?
shrine.
Have you built a shrine out of paper mache?
Paper mache, swan, and little
swan
ducks.
feathers. Oh, beautiful!
And I named them all Hijacker 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Shut up!
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Sounds like a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
No, it's just my religion, so you have to respect it.
No, I respect it.
Well, as long as you don't
Much
force
as
it on
any-
anyone else.
Yeah, I respect it as much as any other organized religion.
Nothing's come true yet, but I mean, I hope it does someday.
I read Tolkien, and so I hope
that's all true.
Mechanics having a great old time pushing buttons.
Yeah, yeah. See, the irony
It's
of
my
that.
new toy. Shut up.
Why did everyone attack Mechanic? He was pushing buttons. Ooh.
Listen,
he was pushing.
They're big old retro buttons. You're like, who doesn't want to just reach out their screen and just press all of them?
Yeah, I'm having flashbacks to arcade games. Yeah, no.
Careful now. No copyright, thank you.
Yeah, careful.
Yeah,
Start dancing. You don't want that.
This is a metal show. Yeah.
I like Nate Goodall.
Oh, sorry. Oh, okay.
If you're gonna play something, play White Boy Rap.
Play some Slayer or something.
Oh, here we go.
Like some Beastie Boys.
Here we go.
My ears.
Right, I'm having flashbacks to a goth club.
Yeah, my ears are bleeding.
Where's our dildo? Where's our rainbow dildo?
Hopefully in jail. That's
Release the Kraken, perhaps.
The rainbow monkey dildo. What is it? The monkey dildo. Monkey rainbow
dildo.
Yeah. The rainbow monkey dude. Yeah.
What was that dude thinking? Like going
drugs are bad, yo.
My outfit. I don't know, you guys. Like, that's why I ask all you guys here to see if you can look at my outfit and think if it's missing something. Do you think I need a big phalange on the front of it?
I mean, immediately it should have been like this when he walked into. I think what was he going into the library? Right?
No, you're not coming.
That should have been done right there.
Yeah, I think Mechanic has found his calling. I like to press
true.
buttons.
Yeah.
I'm a button pusher.
It's a drop concert. Yeah.
Yeah. So when I'm not dropping logic, I'm dropping
pushing buttons.
Drops.
I tell you what, if I had a touch screen here and it worked, I would just be pushing all these buttons. They're great.
Well, what you do is you go to the site, right? You go to the site, and it's over here. You go to the site, and you got to create an account, and it's free. They just want your email. And then you go to categories, and you can add whatever you want to your favorites, and you create
your own like pinboard kind of thing.
Soundboard. Yeah, you got your own.
Release the Kraken.
Yeah, sort of. You know,
it's cool.
We now sound like a cheesy Cleveland drive time show.
It's now turned into Howard Stern.
In the morning.
Drive time show in the morning. Yeah. What?
Yeah.
Ratings are in, and we need more fart sounds here.
This is Man Cow. Well,
don't praise the machine. Don't praise the machine.
I know. You know, that's the perfect. Like, these buttons, I think, could become a great part of the roundtables if I could get the timing right. And it adds to the humor. It does. It does. There's no question to this, but where, right? With all the doom and that everything is according to Jacker's 33 models and the red what's coming now. What do you say? The red what? The
red
horse
coats are coming.
The red horse, the red horse is coming. I mean,
what you really need, what you do need, mechanic, is you need that classic sort of horror movie dun dun dun. That.
Oh yeah.
It would just be called dun dun.
Like
the Jaws.
I got.
When something shocking happens. Yeah.
I have identified buttons for specific callers. This one belongs to Stardust Man, aka Daryl.
Oh, hey, Stardust Man. I remember him.
Oh,
I remember Stardust. Is he still around? Or are they?
But my favorite one is this one. Let's get ready to rumble.
Oh, that's
I don't
Michael
think they were
McCann.
allowed. I think they go after some of them and they get denied.
Yeah, they'll sue you.
But it's
I'm actually his lawyer. He's based out of New Jersey, and I represent Michael McCann or whatever his stupid name is.
Well, the thing is as well, like
he gets paid like $1 million.
I think if it's 3 seconds or something, you can actually have a sample, a certain amount, like.
You can do like 3.5 seconds or something of any.
Yeah, because that's why a lot of rap people actually got in trouble where
sample.
Yeah. If you remember, what were they called? Yeah, that was one where they had to basically give all the copyright to the sample.
Yeah, because because it was a full statement. Let's get ready to rumble.
Rest in peace, John Bon Jovi.
There was I can't remember. Yeah, there's a band, the Snacks or the Scooby Snacks. That was the name of the song. I can't remember, but they're a trio.
Sitting
and
around on the town.
Yeah, but
snacks.
Yeah, whoever
did
that. But if you remember, it was full of quotes from Pulp Fiction.
Oh,
and so if I got the right song. And they got no money for creating the song because they had to pay for all these the royalties to the samples.
Well, they're the same. They're the same artists that did like we're cool criminals or something like that.
The Smooth Criminals. That's it. The Smooth Criminals.
So like again, the low key funniest way out of that was to make them smooth criminals that didn't make any money.
Yeah, So they should have gone into government, make heaps of money.
Mechanic, you got a laughter kind of button there for like when jokes don't really go well.
Well, I like the Law and Order. Done.
Nope. He's looking up transgender births. That's what he's doing.
I want to see what that sounds like. Just once.
Oh no, I don't.
Just once, as long as it's under 15 seconds.
You know what it sounds like? Westworld.
Beep boop.
No.
Can you?
Oh, Camilla Harris.
That Pope.
That's a Camilla Harris laugh. I can hear that from anywhere.
I want sexy sax. Sexy sax. Sexy sax there. Second row on the right hand side.
This is just degenerated into press this button. We're all 12 again.
Sexy sax, and someone get ready to say something.
Here at Revolution Radio, we like to have discussions and break down the political thing. Press the button. Press the button.
Get ready, Monty. Say something.
Oh, hang on. I'm shutting it down. No, I'm shutting it down.
That's it. Let's get ready. Say something sexy. Not doing anything. Okay. Windows shut down.
Yeah, well,
it's always when you go and show someone something that
doesn't work. Just shove me in the corner.
No,
come on.
This is you had the cursor over the Windows shutdown sound. Oh, that's it. I'm shutting it down, and then you stop. What comic timing is that?
All right, check this out. You wanted this one? Here we go.
Yes, of course. Yeah. Careless Whisper. Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
I'm saxing here.
Yeah. No, the Windows XP shutdown. It's a blue one.
Time can.
That's the end of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. That's a nice.
So you want to? That is at myinstance.com. If anyone wants to annoy their family, especially if you're on Skype or in lockdown, it's like I need to talk to you about Dad's funeral.
I need to talk to you about something super important. And you just chuck that saxophone.
What's up?
Or if you want to know where the solo for the saxophone was, it's from Wham back in the day.
Yes, Careless Whisper.
Which was so funny as hell because, we all know what happened there.
What happened? What happened? Tell us from your point of view what happened.
Yeah, in your timeline,
the short story. Well, the short story, it went big. They separated. He'd done his own way and his own way.
Who separated?
That's it. When?
So try and put information in the story.
Hold on, I'm teasing it out. That's good.
Are you referring to George Michael and I can't remember Andy? Was it
the other guy?
Yeah,
yeah.
Andy.
See now, be respectful
one
of
of
the
gay
other
one.
guy.
Yeah.
Why? Why so bother?
The other guy.
Takes more time to be respectful about people I don't care about.
Well, that's true. But also that song has come back because it's in Deadpool 2. And apparently Disney is making Deadpool 3 and they're keeping the R rating. So like, oh, interesting.
Good.
Oh,
good,
cool.
good.
Yeah, mainly because I've got a feeling Ryan Reynolds says like, yeah, it's R, isn't it? No, we're thinking about I'm leaving. Oh, yeah, it's R. Yeah. Because that's how it works. It's Deadpool.
He's hilarious though. He picks on himself so much and this and that. You know, one of the rare actors can actually pull it off.
Yeah, he keeps he's got a fake twin brother called Gordon, and he keeps doing interviews with himself. It's rather amusing. Yeah. And I'm not sure, but he's had a fake feud with Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
For years, and it's actually gone into the movies. So it's.
Oh yeah.
I've been watching Ryan Reynolds since he was in Two Guys and a Girl and a Pizza Place.
I remember that.
Yeah, and then they dropped the pizza place, and it's like that's not the best idea to call a TV show because it's very hard to search for something on the internet called Two Guys and a Girl.
Yeah, all you got to get is Menage a Trois.
It's so funny in Australia because it comes up to the wrong products. Totally.
The wrong products.
What products do they sell? Two guys and a girl.
Boy.
Oh, I just answered my own question.
Two guys and a girl. I don't know.
Interesting enough, there is a town in Victoria called Sale, and they want to change the name because every time they search for anything using Sale in the search, they can't find the closest bakery.
To their own advantage?
I don't know.
Why don't they just change it to Sold?
Sold.
Yeah, exactly.
We're living in the past. We changed the name to Sold because we're living the past. Yeah. All right. Please, we're not doing the remix.
Got to start dancing.
That's supposed to be the Windows XP, but I'm done with my toy.
Word. All right.
Yeah, that's fun. So I'm gonna have a good time with this in my art. Tune in, folks, for my
45-minute rendition of sound effects.
My soundboard.
He's given up his job with cars. He's a Foley mechanic.
I mean, I got the Jeopardy intro. You know, it's just I'm gonna set up a bunch of these callers. I just am. Look, if you're gonna call my show, you now have to be prepared for anything.
That's awesome. Yeah. I think that's
when
awesome.
is the show, by the way?
Oh, my next show is can somebody remind me? Oh yeah, tomorrow. The High Council, 9 o'clock.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend. Maybe keep the High Council as the High Council. If you wanted that in depth, like the High Council has this air of prestige and where the nitty gritty and where we've got the biggest intel. It's you could actually have Alex Jones turn up into the High Council. Yeah, you won't if you've got Bob all the time.
Yeah, no.
Actually, Alex Jones would get shot down in our High Council. He'd actually be put in his place and he'd have to wait his turn to actually speak.
You're talking about an Australian High Poppy Council.
So on my other roundtables, the regular roundtables that I do, I'll probably use these buttons more. Yeah. And I'm going to work on my timing and I think the buzzer, The buzzer's probably going to be the best that I'm going to use.
I think you're on point, Mechanic. I think radio has a place for other media to chime in, to bring us those little sigils of memes of an audio nature that give us so much information in an instant.
You need to get a sample of Kevin Spacey from Superman Returns where he says wrong.
Oh,
beautiful.
I've
you know
heard
what I'm talking?
yeah.
Well, do you think Superman will save me? I think wrong.
Monty, I've made a list.
But I've heard in the background on our supervision for Revolution Radio, we're going to open up another station where blasphemy is okay to say, as long as it's not directed correctly at anybody on the panel.
Let's pretend that we're on that station now. What would you say?
Ooh, fun.
No, seriously. Well, because otherwise, we'd be making a whole radio station for nothing.
Well, actually, you'd go towards the police or the government and this and that and say frequently and properly on and get out off your chest correctly on the days or the weeks or the problems at the time, but you've got free range to actually drop an F-bomb here, there and everywhere, but not constantly. It's not going to be, hello, I'm just going to be stupid. It's got to be free-flowing. And
so basically not the FDA rules.
Yeah, not moderated.
FDA?
Not any
moderated.
FCC.
So you could actually get a little bit more off your chest.
Yeah.
To our type of scenario radio station where we got
all the other radio stations all the other radio stations on the internet that aren't broadcast live on terrestrial radio.
Right.
So, but that's going to be a new station again.
What have we learned here?
So.
I don't know. Circle. The word circle comes to mind.
Well, but anyway, I'm not too sure when it's going to happen, but I've been told that it's in the works.
So let's talk about Sexy Time. It's week 69 to flatten the curve.
That's right. Yeah, there's
vaccine failure on a large scale in the UK, Scotland, and Israel's because they did their young people as guinea pigs. Masses and masses of more cases of myocarditis, and the ratio of positive to negative is getting smaller and smaller, if not.
Well, see, the whole thing's flawed though. Like
from the beginning.
Now,
from the data from the very beginning.
Yeah. Now the thing is interesting. I'm going to bounce around like a Super Bowl in a concrete car park. There's an image.
2 seconds, please, Monty.
Yeah, I know it's my show, but go ahead.
Can you send one this way as well? I'd like a ticket too.
Just Corker Creek is reverting to you. Towards Corker Creek. Thank you, Monty. My last payment was $666 for the last fortnight. That was funny as.
What was the work you were doing to be paid that amount?
So no.
What was the specific work you were doing to be paid an amount that would? Because we're talking Loki here. We're talking about funny coincidences. So
exactly.
I tried to start a sentence and couldn't get to my point. So I've got to remember it now.
It's not going to happen. Just keep rolling.
No, the ABC here in Australia, the Australian Broadcasting Corporation, which is government funded. Well, apparently a scientist has discovered using gene manipulation, he can stop COVID from replicating in cells.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, no, it's like, this sounds rather creepy.
Dubious.
Well,
yeah, because
there's the other mask as well that people brought out. And go, if you wear this mask, it's gonna solve racism and COVID and everything.
No, I think that's just taking the piss.
Marketing, you think?
Yeah. So what I'll do is I'll share the link to the article, mainly because then you can read it at your leisure. So there you go.
Are you sharing in that in Freedom Slips chat as well?
Yeah, I just put it in there as well. Yep. Because now in the conspiracy world, they've said that people haven't isolated the virus and they can't get a copy or a sample from the CDC. And in this article, it says they have found a way of stopping it through gene thing or whatever. They're using cancer. So it's just, someone's lying, misinformation somewhere. And if you go back to
the beginning, I'd say that's where the lie started.
Yeah, because influenza and the flu have disappeared, but you've got COVID, and it's like, one?
Let's just call it how it is. It's been an agenda from the very, very, very beginning. Well, it's a cash. It's a grab for cash.
But but is it though? Is it a forced agenda, or is it an agenda from response? If I can say it that way.
It's a forced agenda.
Well,
Everyone knows that this was made in a lab by people in the US.
But was it really? Yeah.
No, go on. Sorry.
I will get I'll get a newspaper.
My
back on the nose. You want to come back into my house again, Nigerian?
I ain't
also, it's not really the major factor of how it got out. It exists. Whatever version of it is.
It should be. We should think back to the very beginning.
But was it really?
Look at how it was back. Sorry, go on.
Yeah. See, I have problems speaking at the moment. If I say short sentences, then you can respond. But everyone interrupts, and so my sentence takes a week to finish.
It's just there's so much to say.
Yeah, well, wait till the end, and then you can say.
My apologies. Finish
the art of conversation is stuffed. That's what's wrong with the world today.
It's how you can't have a conversation to multiple points while it's rolling.
But I'm painting you a picture, man. All right, I'm creating a scene.
You know how easy it is to forget about stuff that's halfway through.
Yeah, I know, because you keep interrupting and I keep forgetting things. Going back to circles,
as you were.
We'll circle back to that. Now, if it was what I'm thinking, my theory today, right now, because it'll probably change tomorrow. Because hey, why not? It's fun. They were trying to create a deadly disease for whatever reason. It could be for nefarious reasons or just mad scientists. Like, look what we did. We can't use it, but the prime creator's just gone. Bink, deal with that, because it's a weakened version of what they were told what it was. And since October 2019, they've played catch up, if you follow it that way. So
Who is they?
Governments, the medical profession, and everything else. They're all playing catch ups. Where this git from the London Institute, 5 million people will die, and then 3 weeks later, I forgot to carry the one. Sorry about that. But the governments have gone, well, we didn't hear the second bit. And so it's a deadly disease.
His algorithm was taken as an example because of its vagueness. And we need to stop dancing around the bush on this and giving people the benefit of the doubt that don't deserve it. And what we've seen is nothing but a pattern of malevolence over and over and over and over and over again.
Yeah, and you got pattern recognition where a lot of things that happen in the world, usually the day of or a month beforehand, they run a simulation. Like 9/11. You know, that old chestnut 9/11 that we don't talk about because we've been talking about it for 20 years.
Because we know what happened. Because we know what happened,
was actually,
but we live within a system that won't do anything to resolve it.
There was third time's the charm. There was actually a it's 4. There was actually a simulation for exactly the same thing to happen on that day. And you could hear, I've heard like the flight controllers, is this real life? Is this real life or is it simulation?
Is this just fantasy?
Easy, Tiggy, easy. Now, if you remember October 12/12 or whatever it was, the London bombings in October the next year.
No escape from reality.
Yeah, it was crazy.
So one person remembers that, you know, where the people blew up.
It was stupid. It was on the bridge next to MI6.
Yeah, and the bomb, and the one guy was shot dead because he thought he was a patsy, and the whole thing was a simulation of multiple bombers blowing up. It's exactly the same. Now, you had the 201 conference in October, which was about what would happen if a pandemic came out. And it's like
Event 201. Event 201 run by Microsoft and run by Bill Gates.
Yeah.
Where it's my opinion that Bill Gates fudged the numbers to try and look like a big man on campus for his friends. Mm-hmm. But his wife at the time was the real ladder climber and really wanted to be in with these guys. But they totally fudged the numbers. Melinda.
And Julian Assange is still in jail.
I don't know. He is, and that's horrible. He's like 50. I know. That's horrible. We should be bringing attention to the fact that everything that has come out and Julian and the witnesses against Julian Assange have been, broken down as being lying or anything like that. And still, we're in a state where, even though we know the truth, this is like a spread worldwide. Even though we know the truth and we know who's doing wrong here, there is no action on it. There is no. There is no
accountability, and there's no one to back it up.
There's no accountability. There's no place where this faction wants to preserve themselves. So they're going all out at this point. Okay, we need to understand they're going all out at this point.
10 minutes ago, when I tried to start my paragraph pointing that out, yes. They're following behind and they're trying to preserve. If the Australian government is hiding the contract with the AstraZeneca company because of national security, which is, as we know, code for the government really stuffed up here, and we may get actually thrown out of office.
I think stuffed up.
And so that's basically what.
Possibly.
Can I finish? Oh, right. So this is why.
Let me finish.
Yeah. Why have a round table if no one can talk? The irony of that. Just from the chat, Pack Woman, I love your work. The SARS-CoV-2 is man-made, not a real virus, and the patent number is 7279327, October 19th, 2002.
Out in the public.
I believe my understanding is you cannot patent nature because that kind of is stupid.
Right.
So
doesn't that go down the same avenue as that person who tried to buy the sun and say she owned it?
What? Lex Luthor?
No, it wasn't. It was some chick. Weird patent laws came in and she thought, I found a loophole here. I'm going to buy the sun and say I did it. And then you're all going to have to pay me by the week.
Yeah, well, there are companies that actually sell star names to people, and that's how I try to weave the magic with the ladies. I named a star after you. Of course,
does it work?
The planetary system around it got very upset. It's like, we're not called Kike. What's wrong with you? So, yeah.
I bought Mercury for $1.
Well, yeah. When you
I'm going to send all the politicians around the world to go inhabit it.
Look, Ospaul, funnily enough, I've got a contract that I've got the deeds to the Sydney Harbour Bridge. If you want to buy it, we'll talk later.
Nice.
Mechanic.
Cool. All right. We've only got about 8 minutes to go, and I'll just interrupt, please. Just something new.
I got one right here.
Now we have 7 minutes to go. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. So I really should edit out all the interruptions, and so the 5 minutes of Planet Collingwood will be going up on. Anyway, Mechanic, go ahead.
Take it too long. What is this? So we're looking at someone in like full-length body overalls.
What's
like
a fucking
ticket stand?
Oh, language.
Do you really have to wear that? Do you really have to wear that?
All right,
dude is acting like he's
right
now. Right.
He's acting like he's in performance art.
He's posing.
Oh yeah.
Fake video. Fake news.
It's propagandist.
It is.
Their job is to go around.
Actually,
take pictures
I'm
of
lucky.
them.
Did you see
community? Watch.
One at a time.
God, is it your first day here?
Yeah, I've seen that before. So what we have is government departments here in every single country that it's their job, just like any good government propaganda department, to go out there and pose for pictures
Right.
For their propaganda.
Yeah, well, that leads into what you were saying, that we're all basically saying where it's either agenda or it's an agenda for opportunity. If there was such a deadly pandemic across the globe, why are they've tried the carrot and now they're using the stick? Like, get vaccinated and you'll get a donut or a lap dance or a free Coca-Cola. Now it's actually we're mandating it and you'll be shunned, and it's all coercion and extortion. And it's like, if it's why do you have to? It doesn't make sense. If it's a deadly disease, most of humanity would go, I would like to protect myself.
Everyone wants to do the right thing. Everyone wants to, protect their fellow man. Why do you have to be so malevolent in what you're doing and so underhanded in the way that you do it?
The question is there a deadly disease?
Not unless someone's spreading it. And that's what we have to face up to too. In all of these situations where we had famous celebrities speak out and then suddenly they get a case of it, we have to really come to the conclusion that there must have been focus groups like there are in every single group trying to infiltrate every single group in America to see that they're not against the government.
But
there were people
Cortek,
in there going out and doing that.
Cortek, my friend, I have a 99.996% that I'll survive.
That's right.
Is that enough?
I'm not sure. Yeah, I guess.
Well, I'm pretty sure it is.
It's kind of like gravity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did I stand up?
That'll bring you down to earth eventually.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Don't bring me. Gravity brings me down, man.
Who wants to be down to earth?
It's heavy. Yeah.
Either it does it push, does it pull. I like it. Gravity doesn't work. It doesn't exist. Jump off a building, then.
We need to stop dancing around the definitions.
No, but definitions are important. You have to
definitions are super important. That's why we need to stop dancing around them.
Yeah, and also stop changing them like they have been doing the last 5 years. Where some people think that the American flag is racist and it's full of hate. And then you have people in Cuba and Hong Kong flying the American flag because it actually means freedom.
Cuba's in riot at the moment. You guys see that?
Like a crescent moon with
because I tried to do this about an hour and a half ago. You have South Africa going off chops because, and that's been strangely enough. Where's White Lives Matter? Because it's a reversal there.
I was about to say Black Lives Matter's in Cuba now.
Yeah, well, see, that's Cuba, and Cuba's and the mainstream media's like, they want more vaccines. It's like,
we're ready in there to help if you guys need it. They're like 2 hours after it happened, they came in with stories.
I think it's more about we hate our communist dictators. I'm not sure what's happening in Hong Kong. France is, it's been the week that the world's gone. Yeah, let's do stuff now. And it's interesting. Like South Africa's in winter's phase, but it's still warm. I guess.
Did we say Haiti's president was assassinated too?
Yeah, four countries, their presidents have been killed as well, and they all were against the COVID vaccine and so on.
The COVID story they were against, just like countries that were taken out because they weren't with the banking program.
It's basically we're getting to the point where everything is kind of known, and the media's on side where, Republicans are full of hate and racist. And it's like, well, if you look at history, the Democrats they wanted to keep slavery. They started the KKK, and it goes on and on and on.
Yeah, social engineering.
Yeah. And when
people with too much money.
I think
the majority of slave owners.
And a couple of years ago, half or a third. About half of the Democrats went to one of those State of the Union addresses, and they're all wearing white. And I thought,
with pointy hats.
Yeah, no, it's like you just need hoods, people. It'll be perfect for it. So we have finally come to the end of this schmozzle that is called Planet Collingwood. Viking, would you like to let people know when you're on, even if you just drop the time for the High Council?
I haven't heard the Viking since you said his name like 4 times. Are you calling me Viking?
Viking mechanic. You both the.
Let me tell you something, bro. I love Viking, but we are not on the same planet, and that's a literal statement.
Okay, well, mechanics.
My next show is tomorrow night, 9 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, midnight Eastern, called The High Council. I rep it. You show up, we run it.
Nice.
There we go.
Now with sound effects.
Now with sound effects. Hey-o.
And let's see who will be next. Yeah, Ostpaul. Any final thoughts?
It's been a fantastic round table and this and that. Hope it was all mind consuming because it was funny as hell on certain circumstances and always great to talk to everyone. Thanks, Revolution Radio. Thanks for the people on. Over.
Thank you, ball boys. Thank you, linesmen. Thank you, lineswomen. Let's be fair. Cortek, where can people see you? Well, actually, nowhere. Well, just online, I guess, because you're in lockdown for another 2 weeks because the New South Wales government sucks.
You might be. Well, I think it's just Dan Andrews with a mask. But Dan Andrews wearing a dress. But
check the ears. Check the ears.
You may see me going from here to the Bottle-O or the hardware store or something like that.
Yeah, so either way, you're getting hammered.
Hey, what else does that do?
Yeah, well, yeah. And
there's
Brandon,
a lot of people who like to explore consciousness.
Yeah,
I like to explore consciousness a lot.
Yeah, stop that. Brandon.
Yeah, if you want, check out the Joker Man podcast where we explore the work of Bob Dylan.
Sounds cool.
Joker Man podcast.
Is that you or what's going on there?
Spotify. That's me and Evan and Ian,
Awesome.
my friends. And we explore the work of the musician Bob Dylan, and we've got up to 100 episodes. He only has 2,000 subscribers, and we'd be happy to have you check it out, and also check out the Office Hours podcast, which is every Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern.
That sounds really cool.
Thank you.
Excellent. That has been Planet Collingwood for another week. Our orbit will bring us back in 6 days and 22 hours. Thank you, thank you all. If you're watching this on a platform, like, share, subscribe, donate money if you want to. I'll have a Patreon soon. Coming up next on Revolution Radio is your moment of Zen till someone comes on. So we'll see you next week. Take care, everyone. Bye.